I want to talk about mental health in relationships. And for example, let's say, a partner is like spazzing out at their spouse
Hmm.
for no reason. And their partner might respond back negatively, but at the end of the day, um that person might be going through something, but they just might be taking their stress out on the person that's closest to them. But so
Hmm.
so so, so like, what are the signs to know that my partner is going through some mental issues, and I need to get them help? Because sometimes people don't want to talk about their issues; they just want to keep it to themselves.
Well, speaking in general terms, I mean, and this can apply to anybody, really, any, relationship where it doesn't necessarily, it's not specific to athletes or anything, but um, really, if you see your spouse withdrawing, or otherwise like changes of behavior that aren't typical of your spouse, or I mean, it can be very outward. It can be more shouting, verbal, emotional, and or physical abuse. Clearly, are signs that things have changed. Um, but definitely, if you start to see changes in behavior or, like I said, withdrawing, maybe a coldness, definitely something to discuss. The first thing is always discuss the problem, and if your partner, your spouse is not responding well to the invitations to discuss and keep the lines of communication open, you just want to make sure that it doesn't escalate into abuse. Whereas, you might become at risk of being abused in harmful way. Well, all abuse is harmful, but in danger of your safety. Your safety is in danger. So, definitely, you just got to look for some early warning signs. And if there's anything that comes up that is very concerning, then consult with, obviously, if you're belong to a solid church, consult with a pastor or even a counselor yourself, just to find out what you can do. And there's also a variety of topics on, I should say, resources online on various websites, and that you can do a little research yourself to find out what would actually be the best way to go about handling the situation.
Mm. Okay. Okay. You guys heard that? You gotta ask your spouse questions sometimes, And
Communication
yeah,
is really
yeah.
important. It's not easy. It's not easy to discuss these topics, and you might meet up with a lot of resistance, especially if the relationship has not been very solid for a period of time. It might be very difficult, but making the attempt to open the channels of communication is very important, as that allows things to get discussed as a preventative measure to help prevent things from escalating to the point where you might need to involve a counselor, a marriage counselor, or somebody to uh, help straighten things out.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it can even affect the kids too when they're around and they see back and forth with the parents. So, it's always good to
Mhm.
look for professional help if they can.